However, having volunteered to stump up for the overnight themselves, another humiliation. On Friday, just before leaving for their big Cardiff game, they find that they haven't been paid.
The cheques that are bounced today regarding all you players will be paid by standing cash after training down there on Monday.
So we're not getting paid this week,
You're not getting paid this week until Monday.
It's not only the players who are suffering. Janice Hutchings was a secretary at the club. Last month, she was summarily sacked on the grounds that the club could no longer afford her. She then discovered that for some time she had unwittingly been paying Barnet for the privilege of working there.
I went to sign on the dole, and I've since found out from the dole office that my national insurance contributions aren't up to date. So I've got proof that I've paid them in my pay slips and wages, but apparently they haven't been paid over.
Financial confusion now reigns over the club. The players now depend on handouts. Here, Steve Percy, chairman of the Supporters Association, has brought a cheque to help out. Barry's baffled that Barnet appears to be in such dire straits.
I'm only a silly football manager and I can work out what the income is and what the outgoings are. And I would have thought that we was one of the few clubs in the country that should have some money in the bank on deposit. Just through our gate receipts and the Football League money that we get for various sponsorships and TV money and pools money and various other things. Without the transfer dealings that we've had, that we've been very, very successful in the transfer market in selling our players over the last 3 or 4 years. I think we must have taken in, £1.5 million, which for a non-league club as we was then, is quite fantastic.
But despite the cash coming in, the chairman still says money's short. It's impossible to judge just how bad the situation is because the latest accounts are overdue. Fans are worried.
We don't know what's going on. People are shareholders. We haven't seen accounts for the last 15 months. Obviously that's not on. What is going on? It's totally open to conjecture what is going on.
The last published accounts showed a healthy profit of £166,000. No one except the chairman seems to know what's happening to the money.
But we are in problems. The chairman tells me, or Helen tells me, who's the company secretary, that we owe the police quite a considerable amount of money. We owe the PAYE and national NI contributions a substantial amount of money.
To get money in, Barry has even been ordered by Stan to sell Gary Bull, Barnet's star striker. Luckily for Barnet, the deal fell through before the Cardiff game. Barnet end the game with a draw, but they come away from Wales with more than just a point.
Rick Wright, the financial controller of Cardiff and chairman, was very generous in his praise of us after the game in the dressing room. He said that, we were a credit to football, and if we won the league, we would go up as worthy champions. And he gave us £1,000 for the lads to have a beer and a meal on the way home, which was, in the circumstances, a fantastic gesture.
But back in Barnet after the weekend, it seems to be business as usual, Flashman style. Still no pay. Barry Fry joins the angry players at the chairman's house in Totteridge, North London.
I don't know what's happening. Ellen spoke to me this morning and says the lads ain't getting any money today. So I've just told them at training they come round here.
We're just so annoyed because we haven't got any money, have we? You might come back out with the box. What's going to happen if you don't get paid? The windows are going through. No.
The Flashmans are now saying that the money can only be raised if the Football League releases the club from its so-called performance bond, a £150,000 deposit secured on the chairman's house and meant to ensure that the club meets its financial obligations. Eventually, Helen Flashman emerges.
We're waiting to get performance bond released.
That's it. When it's released, then we'll have money to pay you.
When's that going to move, let's say now?
Well, that's up to Brendan Batson. When he tells the league that you've all been paid up to the 30th of June 1992, then they'll release it.
What's the chances of that?
You'll get as good as mine. We've been trying for 6 months.
Only the players' representative, Brendan Batson of the Professional Footballers Association, the PFA, can give the league the signal to release the bond.
Well, they're blaming you and the PFA.
For what?
And we want our money.
Yeah.
For waiting to get paid our wages.
Well, that's exactly right, Dave. Exactly right.
What Ellen said, it might be...
Back at the club, there are heated discussions and phone calls to the league. The players are suspicious that if money is released, they still won't get any of it.
Yeah, we've got to. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll ring the solicitor, Stanley Bellinare, and I'll say my players are prepared to sign a statement and get it up to the Football League now to release that bond, providing he gives me a fax over that now that he will pay every player.
Yeah, brilliant.
So you won't give the players an undertaking that game? Well, can you just speak to one of the players, and Gary Phillips, and then, you know, he'll say what you're doing. All right.
Well, Stanley, how you doing? I understand that, but I mean, I can see their point of view and I can see everybody's point of view, but basically we're employed by Barnet and we think to ourselves now, hold on, we've gone 2 weeks without money again. Now, if we release this bond, are we guaranteed our money? And we're getting no guarantee from anybody.
Shortly afterwards, Barry gets a startling message from the chairman, which he passes on to the players.
They're going to get right. Is it home? And every one of you is going to get and he's coming round to do it now.
Why didn't you open the door when we was there?
He said, I said, do you really want me to tell him that, Stan? He says yes.
So he'll be here in a minute then.
Then events take an even more bizarre turn, in yet another call from the chairman.
Stan, are you sure? Stan, it's World War III now. All right, I'll pass the message on. All right, I'll get one of them. All right, get Duncan out. You're all fine 2 weeks' wages, so you're not...
Flashman has fined the players 2 weeks' wages, coincidentally the exact amount they're owed.
Be honest with you, Stan. Hang on. He says you've just told him that we ain't playing tomorrow. You what? No, nothing's been said, Stan. No, nothing's been said. As far as like all the players are concerned, we're going to Scarborough tomorrow and playing the game. The fact that we ain't been paid for like 2 or 3 weeks has got nothing to do with it, is it?
It all ends with a promise of pay on Wednesday. But before payday, there's a small matter of football. An away game at Scarborough halfway down the league at this moment. Barnet come from behind to level at 2-2. It's a good result. But after travelling back from Scarborough through the night, the players learn later that same morning that they still won't get paid. And there's worse to come. The chairman sacks Barry for the 7th time, and 6 players. Then some good news comes in. The PFA, the Players' Union, has loaned the team their outstanding wages. But it's all too late for 2 key players, Gary Bull and Derek Payne.
Due to the lack of wages being paid in, I'm posting off a letter to the Football League and posting one to Stan, the chairman, demanding a free transfer at the end of the contract.